I am not referring to the entire player base with anything I speak about today. I am speaking about a very loud minority. Holy shit! After researching into this topic a bit, I'm looking back at the different matches I've played and truly pondering the legitimacy of my competition. Those stray headshots that looked a little too far away, those flicks that felt a little too quick, those reads that felt like you could have sworn they just knew where you were located at all times. I personally trusted Easy Anti-Cheat at least a little bit prior to the sheer amount of posts I've seen, but that may have just changed with the post we're gonna discuss today. Bear in mind, I have to do hours of research for the different editorial videos I make, and I've seen just so many posts with videos, photos, essays, just constantly pushing this narrative that there's an exorbitant amount of hackers in Hunt. Truthfully, I lived in denial before. I even made a video about people in high elo fear-mongering and sensationalizing the issue, though I will admit at this point that I'm submitting to the idea. To this day, I have only fought one hunter that I was sure was hacking. But I know I'm a 4-star lurker, so I'm not the target demographic for these dubious individuals. Though that's enough prattle. Folks, it's about time we got on to the actual meat of the video. Disclaimer. In videos past, I've censored the usernames of users whose posts I show in my videos, for fear of exposing them. I've since realized that in situations like these, that these are completely public posts on public forums. Me hiding their usernames is incredibly pointless, so I will not censor any names in this video. But with this comes a caveat. I remind you, I do not encourage or support the harassment of any individual in this video for any reason. If you want to have constructive criticisms regarding the topic, the link to the original post is in the description below. It is not locked. Feel free to check it out there, and remember, I did not send you. And again, I am pleading with you to not harass anybody, and I vehemently oppose the prospect. The ideas shown in this video are speculative. The evidence is not entirely concrete, and some concepts are abstract. The purpose of this video is for entertainment and investigative discussion, and I will attempt to play an entirely neutral party there within. Be kind, be constructive, stay blessed, and ultimately, enjoy the video. Our target of discussion today is an individual from the official Hunt Showdown subreddit. This user, Remarkable Maybe 6050, henceforth referred to as Maybe, made a post on August 9th last week titled, "I wrote a cheat for Hunt from scratch to see if anti-cheat is real, parentheses, it's not." In this post, Maybe informs us a bit about their background as a software engineer for businesses, and that they specifically do not have experience in gaming software besides creating some World of Warcraft bots in years past. Though they did not let this limit them with their titular experiment. They remarked that they did not do anything particularly fancy with this test, only using industry standard IDA Pro and common debuggers. A remarkably simple cheat, those in the industry would remark. I want to personally note here that Maybe specifically did not disclose their particular methods of creating their cheat program, which I wholeheartedly respect, as we shouldn't be encouraging cheating or showing possibly dubious individuals how to do it easier. Anyways, in their post, Maybe details their distaste for cheaters and that they felt like everyone they were fighting in their regular 6-star MMR and ELO knew a bit more than they should, possibly utilizing cheats for an advantage. This is what led them to experiment with their own program. Maybe describes their cheat they created as very simple, utilizing some glitches they noticed while playing, and although their cheat is simple by design, it's remarkable how quickly they got results. According to Maybe, within 5 hours of experimentation, they had written a reliable cheat allowing them to turn off all walls in the game and see where players were. For the purpose of further testing, Maybe was able to load into and complete 10 entire quick play matches and 2 bounty contract matches with their simple cheat program enabled. In each game, they were able to wipe the entire lobby, utilizing their wall hacks with ESP only, no aimbot required. This is astonishing to hear, as after all, Hunt does publicly have an anti-cheat, being Easy Anti-Cheat or EAC, which is supposed to automatically detect and ban cheaters. To end their post, Maybe concludes that there is legitimately no anti-cheat in Hunt Showdown. There is only signature checking for existing widely disseminated cheats. Maybe furthers this point, saying that if these dubious individuals keep their circles small and tightly controlled, there is virtually no risk of getting caught when they create their own cheats. This is all incredibly hard to hear and lends credence to the complaints a lot of higher elo players have been voicing for years in the community, but this does conclude the entire post. Now, I took the liberty of analyzing some of the replies below the post, being hundreds of them, and to my intrigue, Maybe continued to respond to some of the replies. In one response to a user asking how far the anti-cheat of Hunt Showdown could be pushed, Maybe claimed that they could push it to any limit, as there was literally no capability in Hunt's EAC to detect anything cheaters were doing. Maybe even remarked that you could set an aimbot in lobbies to click on heads for 10 hours each day for multiple days and still not get caught. Another reply simply asked Maybe if this cheat would affect console at all, to which they replied, no. Feel free to check out the Reddit post linked in the description and pinned comment, by the way. There's hundreds of hunters in this thread detailing their awful experience with cheaters and hackers in Hunt and even other games, and it's interesting to read around. I should have mentioned this earlier, but those actually watching the video and not just listening will have already seen these displayed on their screen, but for those of you who are only my audio viewers, Maybe even included screenshots of their gameplay in the post and replies showing that, yep, clear as day, their simple cheat programs really did give them the ability to see through walls, objects, hills, or anything. Reverse image searching these screenshots reveals nothing, and nobody in the hundreds of replies that I can see calls the legitimacy of this post into question. So I'm led to believe these images are genuine. But ultimately, what does all of this we've talked about today really mean? It means that if true, Crytek has some work cut out for them. I want to remind you all that we need to remain neutral. A lot of this information is still speculative, but I do believe that the photos are genuine. But what should we do knowing this post is out there and there's hundreds of players, nay, thousands of players dealing with enemies that they simply can't trust as having no exploitive advantage? Well, we can't panic for one. Crytek very recently, being this week, banned Reshade, finally, after years of people begging for it. And we've been panicking this entire time. And for two, we cannot get vehemently angry at Crytek or other hunters. We need to band together and get mad at those dubious individuals that cheat in fucking video games and continue to expose them publicly. We need to continue to bring these issues to light and spread accurate information and detailed experiences with proof if possible. And most importantly of all, we need to remain honest. I know it's easy to get caught up in the wave of uncertainty, and picking the easier explanation feels certainly better than not knowing what's going on. But we must remain vigilant and genuine. Remember that although cheaters may be out there, there is always a better chance that whoever domed you across the cornfield was just hitting dingers that day and you caught their wrath. If you get shellacked and you simply can't believe that your opponent did it earnestly, do me a favor and spectate them for a little bit after you die, no less than 5 minutes. Watch their movements, their flicks, and their actions. If they continue to be sus as hell, feel free to report them, even take a recording of their gameplay, move on to your next game. But if they just play the game, missing some shots and continuing to search for their next clue, who knows? Maybe they really weren't just that good at the game and you ended up at the end of their crosshair. We talked about a lot of things today, folks. We discussed a software engineer with seemingly a single afternoon on their hands, breaking the entire anti-cheat of Hunt Showdown. We discussed the implications of what their actions could mean for the whole of the game. And we even discussed what actions we should take in reaction to this. But one thing I never got the chance to mention to you all before was to have fun. Remember that at the end of the day, the game is still fun and it is still a video game. If Hunt is really dragging your mental down, just simply take a break. Or hell, even try a different game. You only live once, my friends. There's no reason for you to harp on things you cannot control. Crytek, I doubt you're watching a very flamboyant horse on YouTube, but if you are, you need to make a statement in my opinion. This powder keg has been building for many years, and this post in particular we discussed today has been gaining a lot of traction. This could be the spark that finally ignites the fuse, but who could really say? Either way, viewers, Crytek, fellow hunters of the bayou, subscribe if you enjoyed the content, like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it. Let me know in the comments how I did, as this type of video format is very new to me and experimental. And lastly, and most importantly of all, stay blessed.
Doing a lot right now. What?